The difficult years that have passed have witnessed the elimination of countless industries and businesses, causing no small amount of loss to working people. The next wave of elimination has also arrived, this time not targeting businesses, but the people themselves. Dear friends and respected audience, today I will speak about 20 hidden laws. Understanding these laws will help you upgrade yourself, rise above those who are left behind at the bottom of society. Number 1. The American Huffington Post once conducted a public opinion survey, presenting utterly absurd ideas such as, the sun revolves around the earth, lottery tickets are the best investment, or taller people are more prone to oxygen deprivation when running, and asked the public to evaluate them. The result was astonishing. No matter how ridiculous an idea might be, there are always about 20% of people who blindly believe it. This is the famous 1/5 law of ignorance, meaning that no matter how nonsensical an idea is, there will always be around 20% of people who follow it. This explains why scams like phone frauds, prize-winning text messages, or other simple tricks still claim many victims, despite our continuous warnings. No matter how much we warn, there are always some people who are as if blind, deaf, living in society, always easily exploited and deceived by the wicked. There are 4 levels of lies. The lowest is random fabrication. The middle is carefully crafted falsehood. The high level is using half-truths to conceal half-lies. And the highest is when every word, every sentence is true, but when combined, it becomes false. If you cannot refute a viewpoint, you are not worthy of holding it, because every viewpoint has moments when it's wrong. If you cannot recognize the perspective that makes it wrong, it proves you don't truly understand that viewpoint. Similarly, if you cannot walk away from a person, you are not worthy of having them. Each person is an independent individual. Only when you are strong enough to leave someone at any moment are you truly worthy of being with them. Number 2, the greatest difference between science and superstition is that science can be overturned at any time to reach a new conclusion, only to wait to be disproven again. Enlightenment is when your mind can hold 2 opposing thoughts without internal conflict. When you reach this state, you can embrace everything and accept every outcome. At that moment, you truly understand that everything is the best arrangement. Number 3, this is a story that only extraordinary people can grasp. The goat, through relentless effort and endless groveling, finally managed to squeeze into the circle of the great elders in the animal world. It was overjoyed, hoping that with the help of these elders, it could rise to a higher class. One day, the elders held an outdoor conference and the goat was invited too. The fox said, "I'll bring the stove." The wolf said, "I'll bring the meat." The lion declared, "I'll bring the spices and skewers." The goat eagerly replied, "Then I'll bring green vegetables. These are my homegrown produce." The fox said, "We don't eat vegetables. Just come alone. Bring your family too. Treat it as a family gathering. Make sure to bathe well, because the hyena always complains that you smell bad." Hearing this, the goat was deeply moved, saying, "Being friends with the great elders is truly a blessing from my past life." Number 4, a concerning figure is that in 2023, the average number of children per woman in Vietnam was 1.96, the lowest in 63 years, and it's predicted to continue declining in the coming years. What does this mean? The number 1.96 is even lower than in 1960, when the average number of children per woman was 6.4, despite the country having just endured war, chaos, a time of hunger, cold, and no shelter. Now it's peacetime, 2023, with advanced science, abundant material wealth, a life as prosperous as paradise. So why don't young people want to have children? The core reason is that humanity has lost the most important thing: hope. In the work The 3-Body Problem, it is said that hope is the most vital thing for humanity, even more than truth. People can live in adversity, but they cannot live in despair. The main reason young people don't want to have children isn't just economic pressure, but a lack of expectation for the future. Hope for the future isn't tied to material wealth, but depends on whether people are treated with kindness. Today, society lacks love and care. Hard work no longer brings riches. Knowledge cannot change fate, Those who strive have no place to settle down and thrive. Most people must accept a mediocre life, sacrificing half their lives just for a pile of concrete and steel. Thus, some have resolutely decided not to have children, unwilling to let the next generation suffer. In this society, most people live temporarily, indifferently, passing by each other without bringing anything good. Technology is advanced, but also cold. So many ask themselves, who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? What is my talent? What do I live for? In truth, the core of these 5 great questions is just one question. Deep within each person lies a tiny giant, a being that, though our bodies are born and perish, always resides deep in our soul. This giant is the source of energy and motivation for us to grow stronger. But living in a world full of dust, our eyes grow dim, unable to clearly see its form. Every philosophy, religion, and school of psychology from ancient times to now teaches us how to find this tiny giant in our soul. Buddhism teaches us to recognize the deepest thoughts to reach Alayavajnana. Zen teaches us to observe ourselves, explore our soul, called seeing our nature to become Buddha. Philosophy calls it wisdom. Psychology calls it the subconscious or true self. Confucianism calls it humanity or innate goodness. Taoism calls it the Tao or true being. Wang Yangming calls it innate knowledge, action and unity. May you awaken that giant within your soul. Number 6, the noblest love a man can give a woman is to broaden her vision, elevate her thinking, guide her growth, so she can shine freely, live true to herself. Even if one day he's no longer by her side, she will still be strong and live well. And the highest love a woman can give a man is to cherish his qualities, unlock his unique potential, bring him sweet experiences of love, nurture, and transform him. Even if they part, he will be stronger for having understood love. The noblest love is helping each other grow. Number 7, why don't intelligent people like associating with ordinary ones? The reason is quite logical. Ordinary people think step by step, from A to B, then to C, then D, finally concluding at E. But intelligent people think in leaps, going straight from A to E. It's like driving. Ordinary people use a manual gear, accelerating step by step, while intelligent people use an automatic, shifting speeds flexibly. They need to connect with those of similar vision to break through cognitive limits, sparking intellectual fireworks, resonating together. If they must discuss with ordinary people, they're dragged into explaining B, C, D step by step, justifying why those steps were skipped, severely hindering their thinking. Number 8, when you miss out on something, it's because the heavens are protecting you. Our biggest mistake is constantly regretting the past. We always think if we could go back, we'd surely do better, make wiser choices, than sink into regret. But that's humanity's greatest stubbornness. We must understand every action and role was the best choice at that moment, based on the understanding and mindset of that time. Even if you went back, you'd make the same choice as before. The Diamond Sutra says, the past mind cannot be grasped, nor can the future mind. People mature through stumbles, learning lessons from each loss, gaining wisdom from each fall. Instead of lamenting the past, wipe your tears and keep moving forward. We often think if we'd chosen a different path, the outcome would be better. But in truth, no matter which path you take, new troubles arise. The so-called better ending is just our stubbornness and illusion. Choosing again only changes the way we suffer. Life is like that. No matter how many forks in the road, no matter which path you pick, there will come a time of regret, always thinking the other path would have been better. So, don't judge your past self with today's eyes. Return to the present. Face your choices now. The path you're on is the best path. The people beside you are the most suitable to help you overcome challenges. Number 9, Einstein said, breaking human prejudice is harder than splitting an atom. In fact, all our boredom and anxiety stem from ourselves, from old, unchanging thought patterns. We repeat the same methods, the same thinking day after day, year after year, and eventually we tire of ourselves let alone those around us, or even a society that's constantly evolving. When your growth can't keep up with your children, education problems emerge. When you can't keep up with your partner, marriage struggles. When you can't keep up with clients, partnerships falter. When you can't keep up with leaders, work becomes unstable. When you can't keep up with the market, companies face trouble. And if you can't keep up with society's pace, you'll be left behind. Thus, upgrading your awareness and thinking is the root solution to all problems. Number 10, there's a saying, at the foot of the mountain, you see different peaks. From the summit, you see one moon. No matter your field, if you reach mastery, climb to the peak of your domain, you'll see the same moon. Though we may be in different fields, the higher our life's perspective, the more similar the scenery we see. That's the harmony of heroes. So often, we argue over personal views, only because we haven't climbed high enough. Those midway up the mountain see separate skies, but those at the peak, seeing the full view, realize it's all one destination. Number 11, people relentlessly chase fame, thinking the more wealth and status, the better, unaware that riches and power consume their blessings. Why do so many fade soon after fame and success? Because their blessings have run dry. When someone shines brilliantly, it's when their blessings have fully materialized. Life peaks in glamour, also brimming with joy, sorrow. Grasping this law isn't something everyone can do. The Chinese have a saying, cherish blessings, meaning value your blessings, don't squander them lightly. If a person's blessings remain only as wealth, it's dangerous, for a slight tremor can shatter them. The most important thing in life is to accumulate merit and blessings. And remember, never let fame and gain exceed your blessings. Otherwise, virtue unworthy of position will surely bring calamity. Number 12, for true happiness, there's only one path: return to your conscience. I've shared before, human nature is selfish, but if you believe at birth human nature is good, it's because we're all born kind, yet growing up, the world taints us. Behavior becomes sullied, vulgar, our nature obscured by material desires. We grow greedy, deluded, foolish, exhausting ourselves to seek external validation. Over time, the dust in our hearts thickens, actions grow blind. Wang Yangming urged returning to conscience. Zen teaches see your nature, clarify your mind. Psychologists speak of finding the true self. Philosophers seek the self, and we remind each other not to forget our origins. All this is to awaken the primal self hidden deep within us. We're all born free, but as long as we seek externally, we forget our roots. Life will drift endlessly on a sea of material desire. We'll never find a true harbor, becoming slaves to craving, forever trapped in the prison of our own perception. Only by returning to conscience do we find peace and happiness, strengthening our inner self, discovering the value and meaning of our existence. Number 13, 5 signs of strong inner self. First, remember 2 phrases: this doesn't concern me, and this doesn't concern you, and focus on your own life. Second, the ability to quickly regain calm in any situation, not letting emotions sway decisions. Third, knowing your life's purpose, enduring what others cannot. Fourth, knowing what you want, smiling in rebuttal, confident in your worth, unswayed by others' judgments. Fifth, using your inner certainty to face the world's uncertainties. Number 14, cognitive ability and stability are the keys to handling life situations. Life has 3 major turning points, each a great upgrade. The first is breaking free from reality's shackles, no longer chasing money, achieving independence in material, spirit, and character, becoming relatively free, and starting to ponder spiritual values. The second is discovering your talent, finding life's meaning and mission, like Steve Jobs with his passion for tech and design, or Michael Jordan with basketball, dedicating themselves fully, achieving astonishing success. The third is seeing through life's essence, entering enlightenment, embracing awakening and realization, viewing all beings from a high vantage, living calmly beyond praise or blame, serene as flowers bloom and fade in the yard. Clouds drift by without stirring. Each turning point upgrades life's freedom. All beings will awaken, but for most, that awakening comes only at life's final moment, when it's too late. Number 15, to win people's hearts, remember this golden rule. A few kind words will please 50% of people. A small benefit will win 70%. Kind words plus a benefit will satisfy 90%. And if you skillfully say the right words and give what they desire, you'll gain 99% agreement. Remember this, it's the secret to succeeding with people. If you've done all this and still can't win them over, they may be the remaining 1%, those you can admire and learn from. Number 16, why do those who've overcome hardship often grow cold? Because in dire times, we see human nature clearly, the world's reality laid bare. No one knows how they endured loneliness and collapse, nor cares about their struggles. People just casually say they've changed. So once they understand it all, they grow cold, not losing the ability to connect, but no longer interested in playing games with others. Number 17, the answer always lies a level above the question. Finding it on the same level is impossible. We can only keep seeking. For example, when you feel the need to improve a skill like writing or speaking, it's really your thinking and awareness that need elevating. Thinking always a step above skill. When you need to boost marketing ability, it's your strategy that needs refining. Strategy always above marketing. Seeing through problems, viewing yourself from a higher angle, is a precious ability. Number 18, remember, never become another's slave. When you overvalue someone's opinion, making their approval your actions measure, you've unwittingly become their slave. This holds true in all relationships. Once you start caring whether others agree with you, they control you without you realizing. The more you care, the more they hold you. You don't see that in proving and explaining yourself, you've fallen into their trap. Many use negation as a tool, making you endlessly prove yourself, trapping you in a cycle. Controlling someone is simple, not by agreeing or accepting, but by denying, attacking, making them prove themselves. It's like being dragged into a madhouse. Try to prove you're sane. The more you speak, the messier it gets. The more you say, the more you err. Number 19, the truly strong can shatter themselves, then rebuild. Our body cells renew every 6 to 7 years, meaning the you of 7 years ago and now are entirely different. This is the body's renewal, but upgrading our thinking and awareness is far slower. Many die at 30, buried at 80. They live a lifetime in a fixed thought loop. The reason is simple. Our mind is subjective, our body objective. The objective changes and advances faster than the subjective. The mind easily traps itself in narrow biases, its upgrade pace lagging behind the body's metabolism and society's evolution. This is humanity's greatest challenge. Number 20, oddly, people think 5 years to achieve something great, to become extraordinary, is too long, yet don't regret wasting 40 years in vagueness, busy with dull people and meaningless tasks. This leaves many behind in society's flow. I've never seen a self-aware, diligent, eager learner complain about fate, nor a confident, persistent, practical person lament society's unfairness. Complaints about the external world mostly stem from avoiding inner growth. The strongest aren't those who never err, but those who never stop growing. Growth is life's most vital thing, the central theme of our journey. Our maturity's pace is set by strong will, open thinking, and the courage to question ourselves. Your greatest benefactor is the version of you that strives, always rising. The world never betrays those who persist and self-reflect. May we all meet a better version of ourselves on the path we steadfastly pursue.